Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today we're diving deep into what the New England Patriots offense might actually look like this upcoming season. And I'll tell you right now, the results could catch a lot of people off guard. There's a lot to unpack, so let's get right into it, starting off with the coaching changes. This is where the foundation for everything begins. Josh McDaniels is back in the fold as the offensive coordinator, bringing with him a playbook that Patriots fans know all too well. Add to that the influence of new head coach Mike Vrabel, a guy who knows what it takes to build a tough, disciplined football team. That combination alone sets the tone for what could be a season full of surprises. Then, of course, we've got Drake May entering what many are hoping will be his big second-year leap. There's an air of cautious optimism, but also a strong dose of realism when you look at the current state of the roster. If you're stacking the Patriots offense up against the rest of the NFL, it's pretty clear that they're starting off in the bottom tier. We're talking bottom 10 at best when you're looking at early power rankings. The usual offensive juggernauts like the Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Philadelphia Eagles, and Buffalo Bills are comfortably sitting at the top. Those teams have the firepower, the consistency, and the experience that New England is still working to build. Beyond that top five, you get into teams like the Los Angeles Chargers, Washington Commanders, and Cincinnati Bengals, all groups that showed flashes last season and have pieces in place to contend again now. When you start breaking down where the Patriots might realistically rank, there are a handful of teams that you could argue are sitting below them. Let's look at the New Orleans Saints, for example. That quarterback situation is a mess. Whether it's Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, or a rookie stepping in, none of those options scream stability. The same goes for the New York Giants. Sure, they brought in Malik Neighbors, and that's exciting for their fan base, but quarterback questions linger there too. Is it Daniel Jones, Russell Wilson again, someone else? No one knows for sure. Moving on. Tennessee Titans are probably rolling with Cam Ward right from day one. That's a lot to ask of a rookie, especially on a team with holes across the board. The Indianapolis Colts also bring their fair share of uncertainty with Anthony Richardson coming off injury. Cleveland Browns, they've got about 5 quarterbacks on the roster right now and zero clarity on who's actually going to be under center when the season kicks off. The New York Jets should see an improved offensive line, and obviously Garrett Wilson remains a game changer at wide receiver. But Justin Fields still has so much to prove at the NFL level. For now, you'd have to put New England ahead of that group too. So just by doing the math, if you slot the Patriots ahead of the Saints, Giants, Titans, Colts, Browns, and Jets, that would already nudge them up to around the number 26 spot league-wide. Could they climb a bit higher? Absolutely. Take the Las Vegas Raiders, for example. They're overhauling their offensive scheme entirely. Yes, they've added Ashton Genty, and Geno Smith is in the mix, but we don't know yet if that offense will click right away. Jacksonville Jaguars are another wild card. Trevor Lawrence's health was a major storyline last season, and with a new head coach and Liam Cohen focusing on revamping the offense, maybe they take a step forward, but until we see it, that's still a question mark. Carolina Panthers could also make a leap with Bryce Young gaining more experience. But let's not forget how NFL defenses tend to adjust quickly to young quarterbacks. Another team to watch is the Seattle Seahawks. Big coaching changes there, too, and with Mike Macdonald taking over, it looks like they're going for a long-term rebuild rather than a quick fix. Can Sam Darnold recapture some of that magic he had briefly in Minnesota? Maybe, but again, too many unknowns. So if things break right for New England, if Drake May shows real growth and if the offensive line holds up, it's not out of the question that they climb as high as number 22 in offensive rankings. But even with that bump, let's be honest here, they're still sitting firmly in that bottom 10 tier for now. And that's just the reality when you're dealing with a young, developing team. Of course, the wide receiver room continues to raise questions. Even with a name like Stefon Diggs in the mix, people are wondering how this group is going to mesh. Is Diggs still the same elite playmaker we saw in Buffalo? Can he produce at a high level with a young quarterback still finding his rhythm? Beyond Diggs, consistency is still an issue across the rest of the receiving corps. The offensive line does look like it's in a better spot though. The addition of Trayvon Henderson should give them some much-needed stability up front. Pair that with Ramondre Stevenson in the backfield, and you at least have the makings of a respectable run game. But again, this all circles back to Drake May. If he takes that big step forward, suddenly we're talking about a whole different conversation. Maybe McDaniels proves that stepping away for a year was the reset he needed as a play caller. Maybe Drake May isn't just a guy filling in. At quarterback, maybe he becomes the Pro Bowl caliber player fans are dreaming of. And if that happens, the wideouts start to shine, the running backs find lanes, and the Patriots inch closer to being a middle-of-the-pack offense. Reaching something like the number 16 ranking, that would be a massive win for this group. But on paper, as of right now, bottom 10 feels like the safe, realistic projection. Now, flipping over to the defensive side of things. This is where the Patriots made their biggest splash of the offseason. Milton Williams, the highest-paid free agent signing in franchise history. Over $100 million committed to a defensive tackle. That alone tells you how serious they are about rebuilding the front seven. Williams has looked impressive during OTA letters and minicamps, but there's a caveat. These sessions happen without pads, which really limits what a defensive lineman can showcase. Physicality, leverage, power, none of that truly comes into play until training camp begins. Still, Milton Williams is only 26 years old, and when you look at his production and his growth over the past 4 years in the NFL, it's easy to see why the Patriots made this investment. This is a guy who proved himself on the biggest stage, making plays in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, notching the sacks and forcing a fumble in the process. That's not just a flash in the pan. That's the kind of disruptive interior presence New England has been sorely lacking. Remember, this was a defense that finished dead last in sacks last season. Bringing in someone who can collapse the pocket from the inside is going to change everything for this unit. Having Williams line up next to Christian Barmore, who finally looks to be back to full health, adds another layer of potential to this defensive front. Then you've got edge rushers like Harold Landry and Keon White, both of whom should benefit greatly from the increased interior pressure. Hopefully guys like K'Lavon Chaisson and Anthony Jennings can step up as well, although it's worth noting that Jennings' reps with the first team have been dropping during minicamp. He's barely seen time with the second unit either, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on as training camp approaches. The Patriots might not be done adding to this defensive line either. There are still several free agent defensive linemen floating around on the market. It would not be a shock at all to see New England bring in another piece or two to solidify that rotation before the season starts. And with Mike Vrabel at the helm, you can bet that defensive toughness is going to be a hallmark of this team moving forward. Looking at the bigger picture, you can sense that there's a new energy around the Patriots, a commitment to physical football, a push to establish a stronger locker room culture, something that has felt missing in recent years. And if we're being honest, the Patriots might be looking across town at what's happening with the Boston Red Sox and taking notes on what not to do when it comes to managing star players and building a cohesive team. Just recently, the Red Sox, right after sweeping their arch-rivals, the New York Yankees, decided to trade away their best hitter, Rafael Devers, a move that caught everyone by surprise and raised a ton of questions about the direction of that franchise. Apparently, issues inside the clubhouse played a big role. Devers wasn't happy about being shifted to designated hitter after the arrival of Alex Bregman. And when Tristan Casas went down with an injury, the team reportedly asked Devers to cover first base, a request he wasn't thrilled about. Fast forward to his first day with the San Francisco Giants, and suddenly he's open to playing first. That says a lot about where things stood behind the scenes in Boston. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A new wave of excitement is stirring among New England Patriots fans, as rumors have begun circulating about a potential major move that could shake up the team's roster for the upcoming seasons. According to insider whispers, wide receiver Allen LAZARD is reportedly on his way to the Patriots headquarters, supposedly signing a 4-year deal that would mark a significant addition to the team's offensive weapons. The news, though not yet officially confirmed by the Patriots organization, has sparked a buzz across sports media and social networks, with analysts speculating on how LAZARD's arrival might impact New England's offensive dynamics. Known for his reliable hands, solid route running, and clutch performances, LAZARD has steadily built a reputation as a dependable target in the NFL. His potential signing with the Patriots would suggest the franchise is eager to bolster their receiving corps, aiming to provide quarterback Mac Jones with more versatile options on the field. Alan Lazard's rumored 4-year agreement could be seen as a strategic move by the Patriots to inject experience and depth into their wide receiver lineup. Over recent seasons, Lazard has showcased his ability to make plays in critical moments, something the Patriots are known to value highly in their roster decisions. Fans have long speculated that New England was on the lookout for a receiver who could not only stretch the field but also offer reliability in contested catches. And Lazard fits this mold quite well. If the deal comes to fruition, it might also signal the Patriots' broader approach to building their team through savvy acquisitions, rather than blockbuster trades or high-profile draft picks. This aligns with the franchise's historical tendency to capitalize on underappreciated talents, who eventually become integral parts of the squad. With a 4-year deal on the table, Lazard would have ample time to develop chemistry with the team's offensive unit and potentially emerge as a key figure in their game plans. The prospect of Alan Lazard joining New England adds fuel to the off-season speculation surrounding the Patriots. With the team coming off a season of mixed results, there is a clear desire to improve the offensive output and provide quarterback Mac Jones with more consistent support. Lazard's arrival could represent the missing piece in an offense that has sometimes struggled to find a dependable secondary target. Of course, as with all rumors of this nature, the situation remains fluid and official confirmation is awaited. However, the mere possibility of this signing is enough to get Patriots fans dreaming of a more dynamic and potent offensive unit in the coming years. Whether Lazard can fully meet expectations and carve out a significant role in New England remains to be seen, but the buzz surrounding this potential 4-year agreement is undeniable. As the Patriots continue to navigate the offseason, all eyes will be on their moves and the impact those might have on the team's trajectory. If Alan Lazard truly becomes the newest Patriot, it could mark the beginning of an exciting chapter for both the player and the franchise. For now, the rumor mill spins, and fans eagerly await what could be a game-changing addition to the Patriots roster. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.